You bought a newer Sony camera such as the new Sony ZV-1, ZV-1F, or possibly the ZV-1 II, or you have an older camera such as the Sony HX90V, and you might be looking for extra battery. So the question is, do you get an original Sony BX1 battery? Do you get this battery kit by Newmowa that comes with a charger? Or perhaps the battery charger kit that you can find with the Wasabi batteries? So which one should you get? Let's find out in this episode of this or this or that. Let's go. So my first camera that I purchased that I needed to find a replacement battery for, which is actually this guy. So this is the Sony HX90V. It's been tried and true, great little vlogging camera. And when I bought it open box at a big box store, it did not come with a battery. And part of the price consideration that I had, hey, look, I have a memory card in here. Part of the price consideration that I had was that, wow, finding a replacement Sony battery is going to be fairly expensive. And then I went on Amazon, and the battery that I was able to find was actually this one by Wasabi Power. And this one came with a separate single battery charger, and one of the things that I was really happy with is like, hey, there's actually differences with this battery. Then when we started using the camera a bit more, I actually picked up this kit by Newmowa, and this came with a charger and 3 batteries. One of the batteries I sold with another Sony camera, and then I do have one more somewhere, possibly in one of my camera bags, but it does come with 3 batteries. So the question is, if you're needing a replacement set of batteries, which one should you go for? Now, the one thing to consider is that in the past, camera manufacturers, and whether you bought a bigger professional camera such as the Sony a7 IV, or you even purchased a camera such as this, most of them did come with a battery charger. However, currently, and at least in the last couple of years, as manufacturers are trying to save more money, they don't include chargers, and they basically expect you to charge the battery through the camera. So your Sony cameras, they don't come with chargers right now. You'd plug your battery in, and then you'd take your you'd plug in a cable here, and it would charge the battery through the multi-use port. Now, on older cameras in particular, one of the issues is this port is a micro USB, and micro USB port is going to be a little bit more fragile. So you do have some issues with longevity on that. And that is one of the big reasons why, well, I don't want to charge it through here. The other caveat is, and especially since these batteries are smaller and about half the usable life on the bigger FZ100 batteries, you'd probably have multiple batteries, and you'd want to charge more than one battery at a time. So buying a charger would definitely help you out with that. The other thing is, when you have a port like this, you're also heating up the camera as you're charging it. So for all of those reasons, that is why I am a big fan of charging the battery on a charger rather than charging it inside the camera, because replacing a charger is going to be cheaper than replacing a port on the camera. So do keep that in mind. So for that reason, if you need spare batteries and you don't already have a charger, I would highly recommend either getting the Sony kit that comes with the chargers, if they still have those, or getting a third-party manufacturer charger battery kit, such as this one by Newmowa, and Wasabi Power does have a similar kit as well. That's going to come with batteries and a charger. Big fan of that. The other thing you're going to notice is on these chargers now particularly, they're going to have 2 ports, so you can charge it with either a micro USB cable or a USB-C cable. So you're going to have more options, and you can definitely charge it with a battery power bank or just plug it into the wall. So for that reason, I'm a big fan of using OEM batteries. So both of this one, the Newmowa and the Sony, we're going to have 1240 milliamp hours. So this basically is going to be a direct replacement for your Sony battery, and I've gotten the same type of use out of both of these batteries. Now, the advantage to the Wasabi batteries in particular is on the OEM batteries, you can often get different specs or different features. And while this battery also works in this camera, it is an X battery. The battery life on this is significantly more. So with the Wasabi Power battery, it's 1600 milliamp hours versus just 1240 milliamp hours on the Sony and the Newmowa. So do keep that in mind. The Wasabi Power, I did have an issue with one of these batteries in the past. Over time, as you're using it, this battery did swell up, so it was a little bit more difficult to remove it from the camera. I did contact the company and they did send out a replacement for this battery, so that was definitely good on that. And this battery definitely, it's possibly slightly feels slightly thicker because there's more cells, higher capacity on these batteries as well. So do I expect these non-OEM batteries to last as much as a Sony? No. However, these are also significantly less expensive. Most often you can buy them with or without a charger. And in most of the cases, the customer service with a lot of these companies has been fantastic. So if you do have an issue with the manufacturer, and I've dealt with Wasabi in the past for a replacement one of these batteries, and one of my Panasonic chargers did have an issue. They quickly took care of the issue. They quickly addressed it. The customer service has been great. And do keep in mind, I mean, I am definitely a power user. We have a whole setup usually behind us for all the batteries. We have 3 different cameras that we use, and we go through batteries every single day. So we're definitely a more of a power user, and we do expect that issues might come up. If you're just somebody who's buying a camera, and especially with these type of cameras, odds are if you're just going on travel photography, things like that, you may never run into any of the issues, but the brands have been here established on Amazon for quite a while, Wasabi Power in particular. So hopefully that gives you the information that you need in order for you to decide should you go for this, the Newmowa, or the Wasabi Power. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.